G'day guys, and welcome to the first ever episode of my Barra swap series. Those of you who don't know what a Barra is, this right here is your Ford Barra 4 litre inline 6 turbo motor. These motors have been renowned for making bulk power very easily and reliably. This one is out of a BA Falcon, 2004 XR6 turbo. As you can tell by the red top, it is a turbo motor, built from the factory as a turbo, built to handle the turbo. This is out of a BA Falcon, so they were the first of the series that did have weaker rods, but we're going to go for it anyway. Just going to bend it. I'm going to be walking you guys through how to convert one of these into a GU Patrol. Let's do it. This right here is my Nissan Patrol 2002 GU. Under the hood is the factory ZD30. Firstly, a bit more about my Patrol and why I want to do this conversion. So I've had this vehicle for about 3 years now. It's done everything that I've wanted it to do, besides probably be able to spin the wheels in second gear, but you know, we're going to get to that hopefully. It's gone everywhere I've taken it. It's taken everything I've given it. It's been airborne more times than I could count, and with 380,000 kilometres on the clock, the ZD said goodbye. Pretty sure it's cracked the piston. It blew all the seals out of the motor when it happened and pissed all the way down the road, but that's what happens when you blow things up. So one of the main differences that I've realised, and it's going to improve build later on, which I want to change now, is the loom. This is a BA motor out of a BA Falcon, and the BF and FG looms were different, and the computers were completely different as well. So what I'm doing is I'm converting this BA motor with a BF loom. I'm going to use a BF computer as well. That allows me to put the stronger BF and FG motor in it later on when this one does cook itself. Let me walk through a few more parts that I've gathered already to help me with this build. I've got them here behind me. I'm going to do the camera up and I'll walk you through some of the parts I've already got. So what I have here is the castlemain rod shop bell housing and engine mounts. They all come as a kit. You have a full bell housing all ready to go. There's a nice rod shop logo on the back of it. I don't know if you can see that or not, it's probably out of focus. Put that over here. And then we have the rod shop engine mounts, the tough style mounts, just the bush in the middle of them. These are a weld-in, so I'm going to have to grind off the old ZD engine mounts and replace them with these. One of the guys from work is going to give me a massive hand in doing these. One person has told me that I may have to muck around with the thickness of these mounts in order to get the motor to sit where I need it to sit. But we'll deal with that when we get to it and go from there. So obviously there's two of them, so another one just here, and a full bolt set, spigot bearing, and a thrust bearing. I don't know if you saw that on camera, but I just ripped a massive chunk out of my hand on that bell housing. Babe, do we have any of those cars, bandages, plasters? I think I'm going to need one. Always keep your dusty old first aid kits handy. Like a trauma kit. There's like bandages and bandages and bandages, and well, we bleed like a real man then. As you guys may have already seen, I went and ordered the clutch with my bell housing of that from the castlemain rod shop. They do this as a deal, and my god, do Mantic know how to pack a clutch. If you're gonna buy something, how sexy is that? I'm going to get a close up of this. This is the Mantic twin plate organic clutch, rated at I believe it's 1300 newton meters constant and 2000 newton meters peak. So just at least to start, this is going to be, I think, more than what I'm going to need. What I'm going to do today is try and get this loom on, figure out where everything goes, because this will be the next thing I'm working on. This motor will be the next thing that I'm going to be working on in order to get it in there. The next episode is going to be removal of that motor, and maybe a little bit more with this motor. But yeah, I'll see how I go. So I'm going to get to work on figuring out which plug's what. These Falcon looms have the same style plug for the injectors as they do the knock sensor, and there's an extra knock sensor on the VF motor than the V8. I've only got one knock sensor here, but luckily Ford already had the bolt hole for the knock sensor. All I have to do is grab another knock sensor, bolt it on, and plug it in. I think before I tackle any of this, I'm going to go get food. Macca's run? Can I please grab a large double cheeseburger meal, please?
For the Coke?
Vanilla Coke, please, if we can.
Yeah, the
That's all, thank you.
Oh, good night, for 10.25.
Cheers. Thank you very much, have a good day. Got the goods. Here we go, play late and boys. I have a feeling this is going to aggravate a few people. One gherkin. Alright, no worry. Real deal. Oh. Evo. Having a race around town. So I was having a little bit of trouble getting that loom on, getting it on properly. I wanted to get it done right the first time. One thing you do have to make sure you're doing when you're doing these builds is get it right the first time. So I'm going to spend a little bit extra time researching and trying to find out where this loom runs. Like I said before, I have a couple other things that are going to help in this process of converting your Patrol, or even converting, it might even help you convert something else. But what I have here are a couple of fuel tank bulkheads. See if I can get the camera to focus. They are just little grommets. I might take these out and get a photo of them, put them in the video. So basically you just drill 2 holes through the top of either a fuel tank lid, like the fuel tank itself. I would advise away from going through the fuel tank itself. Just go through like the fuel tank sender, so the fuel sender. And that's going to allow you to send power through the lid into a fuel pump for an in-tank fuel pump if you want to do it that way. That's how I'm going to do it. Another thing I have already purchased is this small section of wiring, and you are going to need this if you're running a BF ECU. What this is a speedo calibrator, or I think it's a cable that allows you to pick up the sensor, the speedo sensor off the dash on the patrol, and convert it so that the forward ECU understands the language. So this will allow you to use the, that's not focusing at all, is it? This will allow you to not have to muck around with any of that other stuff. You need one of these in order for a BF ECU to work. But here is the big thing that's really going to help with this build. You don't have to do this. This is one thing that I've chosen to do only because I really want to learn about it, and I really want to learn as much as I can when doing this build. And this is the HP Tuners MVPI2. Let's see if I can get it to focus. It's their control unit for, well, it's their tuner basically for all the ECUs and that, and this will allow me to do everything that I need to do tuning wise for the XR6 turbo motor. So from this I can use it as a scan tool. I can read all the codes out of it. I can also what can I do? I can tune it essentially. It's a full tuning software, so you can use this to change your injectors, change the entire fuel maps. You can use it to add or take boost if you're using the factory the boost controller, the full factory Ford XR6 boost controller. You can do so much with it, and it's really going to help me do this build up. The main reason I bought this was for the removal of the Ford PAT system from the ECU, so I can plug this in on a bench or even in the car and just full on turn the security off. So that's going to make the process of getting this car running so much quicker and easier. I don't know how to tune vehicles through ECUs, and that's the one other thing I want to add into this series is how to tune a car with HP tuners, at least the Ford 4-litre anyway. Everything that I learn, you're going to learn with me. It's a pretty cool thing to have, and I mean they are expensive, so you can get somebody else to do it for you, but in the long run I think when doing a project like this, you are going to save more money by purchasing one of these and learning yourself than you are going to be going back to your tuner over and over and over again in order to get the one little thing right. You can also take this with you when you go four-wheel driving. You can help your mates out with it. You can plug it into their car, you can read all the codes, you can read everything you need to read through this one device. So this isn't a sponsored video or anything, I just highly rate these things. So this is going to be pretty cool. The other thing I have is a couple extra horsepower in a sticker. So I don't know if you can read that, but yeah. So yeah, Barra of the world. In the next episode of the Barra GU series, what we're going to be doing is removing the ZD30 motor and probably a little bit of fuel system stuff. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Peace out.